The rain in Spain stays mainly in the...
Step by step through the sun and rain, over mountains, across the plains. WCBH is on the go. Join us as we walk the Camino.
Good morning, it's day 13, Thursday the 12th of March. We're walking from, what did we say last night? Navarrete. Walking from Navarrete with that beautiful gold church to Nejera today, 16 kilometres. Last night's stay was in a beautiful, what I would call an executive apartment. However, it had some quirks, as many of them do. Quirk number one, the radiators were not working. Actually, they probably worked, they weren't switched on, which meant that it was very, very cold, and it was a cold night as well. Quirk number two is the shower. Now, because we're in a different accommodation every day, we're getting to see the full range of shower heads, shower roses, taps and dials to control the showers. Last night, 3 dials, a handheld shower, an overhead shower, 6 jets that blast into you depending on the controls. Now, that all sounds great. It was space age, like there was a panel and everything. But try and get the 3 dials to actually work the temperature, the flow, whatever the third one did, was interesting. So you got it set right. And then it must have been shorting, or it had a mind of its own, because without touching anything, it would take the water right up to scalding and then plummet it down to freezing. And you wouldn't dare touch a dial, because if you touched the wrong dial, suddenly the 6 jets would turn on and you'd either get a nasty surprise of cold water, which I don't like, not a fan of cold water, or scalding water. So anyway, when did taps stop doing their job? When did the simple shower hose stop doing its job? Well, as we work our way through rural Spain, we're getting a good view of all the different dials and devices in the shower to deliver some nice warm water, please. Anyway, first world problems, 16 kilometres. We just coming up on the 200 kilometre mark in about 1 kilometre. This is, what did I say, day 13. That includes our rest day. So in 13 days, including the rest days, 200 kilometres. By the time we finish today, we'll have done about 200 and just short of 200. Yeah, probably about 210 kilometres. So you can see sort of the speed and the progress we're making. 790 kilometres from the start in St. John Pier de Port through to Santiago de Compostela. So we're making reasonable progress. We're coming across people each day from a range of different countries, but I must say that the amount of people is, I think, slowed. Someone said to me that a lot of people try and start the Camino on the 1st of the month, and maybe that just in their own mind. And, we started on the 28th of Feb, so we were close to the 1st of the month as well. And because we're going at a slower pace than what the guidebook says is set stages, and you can do it whatever pace you want, you can go fast or slow and anything in between, possibly the bulk of people that started at the 1st of the month of March, they're in front of us now, a couple of days in front of us. So then there's other people sort of walking at around our pace, or people who are walking quicker who might be coming up and overtaking us. The other theory that I heard was, and I haven't tried to calculate this, is starting about when we did gets you into Santiago for Easter as well, if you set a cracking pace. So there might have been a few people on the go to try and make Santiago for Easter. We've got the time, we've got the space. We're not going to make Santiago for Easter, and that's okay. We'll have Easter wherever Easter falls. And if last night's church, with all of its gold and beauty, is anything to go by, you don't need to be in Santiago for Easter to be in a beautiful church. Every town seems to have a beautiful church. Early on, we We saw a number of road bikes, so what I would call a racer bike. But the last couple of days, the bikes that we've seen on the path have been more mountain bike, and people are coming along the same paths that we're on. The paths we've been on for the last few days are very much mountain bike friendly. The paths we were on for the first couple of days, probably not quite possible for the mountain bikes. So 200 kilometres. Body is still holding up well for all three of us. Food's been good, but you do miss the foods from home and being able to get the foods that you want when you want it. So, yeah, we're travelling well. We're walking through the wine region, grape growing region of Spain at the moment, just field upon field, row upon row of grapes growing. It's early March. We just walked past a team of guys working in the field, looks to be cutting back the vines, promote that new growth. They've probably been working on it actually for a month or so. I'm speculating here because they're at the top of the mountain as we sort of walk down the mountain. These ones are all done. So we're just trying to sort of map it out. If winter ended the end of Feb, spring started the start of March, doing the pruning now to promote new growth as it starts to warm up, and then the grapes come on after the new growth. Have to look it up to see about what time the grapes are ready to be harvested. We're estimating midsummer. Not too sure on how long it takes to go from no growth to grapes. It certainly is a wine region of Spain. La Rioja, I think is probably butchered how I've said it, but Laroija. Have to keep a lookout for that. Off in the distance, there's snow-covered mountains. We're just working our way down a mountain. I'm pretty sure there's something about grapes growing at altitude as well. It's not solely grapes, but you'd have to say 95% plus of what's being grown here are grapes. There are some olive trees around the place as well. Interesting, we're not seeing it here, but we saw it a couple of days earlier where you'd have a row of grapes, and a row of grapes, but the gap in between them, one left spare, one planted with a type of flower, one left spare, one planted with the same type of flower, one left spare, one planted with the same type of flower. It's intentional because it's every second one. Trying to work out what it is. Is it companion growing around preventing pests or doing something to the soil? Or is it the flowers attract the bees and the bees are needed for the growth of grapes? Really interesting. It's like a lesson just walking through these fields. And we'll just be having a conversation about the history of the area, the history that spans thousands of years, and the people, the historical figures that have come through this area along these roads, and the various things that have taken place. Fascinating region. Well, it's late in the evening, just doing the final recording now. We made it into Nejera much earlier in the day. We got into our apartment, got the heating working, so that's great. Totally normal shower as well, so that's even better. Had an explore around town. If you ever been to Cappadocia, there are caves and that have been converted into hotels, and there are some caves that still remain as caves in the cliff face. It's almost kind of got a bit of that feel to it, our apartment, because right behind the apartment is a very red rock cliff face, which has caves in it. And when I say caves, I don't just mean like a hole in the side of the mountain. They've been carved out and almost look like that they were lived in at some stage. There's a door there's a window, there's those sorts of things in the cliff face as well. So certainly not as extensive as Cappadocia in Turkey, but there is a little bit of that. Interesting town, walk into town. Yeah, it was okay, but as soon as you cross the bridge to the other side of town, which happens to be where our apartment is, it's almost like you're in a different town. Dare I say it, there's a rich side and a not-so-rich side to town. Big river running very fast that runs through town, but it's almost like not other side of the tracks, it's other side of the bridge. So, yeah, Nejera, I really need to look it up or ask my wife or ask my son, what town are we in and where are we going to tomorrow, because all the towns really roll into one. We've had a couple of shorter days. Today was a bit longer. Tomorrow's going to be even longer. So, yeah, the kilometres will pick up for the next few days.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the...
Step by step through the sun and rain, over mountains, across the plains. WCBH is on the go. Join us as we walk the Camino.